In an interview this week, Andrew Little has stated that if Labor gets in, they'll basically make medicinal marijuana legal immediately. It's based off the back of a bill drafted by Labor MP Damien O'Connor, who's basically saying he wants to shift the onus of whether they can make medicinal marijuana available away from the minister, Peter Dunn at the moment, to medical professionals, GPs and specialists, etc., if a person requires medicinal marijuana to help alleviate the symptoms of what they're going through. A fatal illness is probably the most likely scenario. David Loughrey, medicinal marijuana. You and I spoke about the Treasury report last week.
We did.
And looking at the Treasury document last week, looking at making cannabis in general legal. Labor's now saying if it's medicinal, they're not quite saying day one, but sort of.
Well, I like to think, Pat, in the event of my death, that the general rules of society should not really, apply to me in my last moments. Therefore, if I wanted to do really whatever I wanted, I think that should be okay. For instance, I could take up smoking again because it doesn't matter, and really I think whatever drugs you like is fine. So I'm supportive of absolutely everything.
In the UK and places where medicinal marijuana, the US, is legal, it's not always terminal though.
Yeah.
People use it to alleviate symptoms rather than going on pharmaceutical drugs. So it might not always be in a fatal situation.
What about if you're feeling uncomfortable or anyway slightly disturbed at all, then the rules should not apply to you. Do you know what I mean?
You don't need medicinal marijuana just because you're feeling vaguely unhappy.
Okay, whatever.
But come on, I mean, why isn't this a shoe-in already? It's too late for Helen Kelly, but if you're suffering from chronic pain, you have a terminal illness, then you should not need to appeal to Peter Dunn or any minister to end your life with dignity.
I think you're right. I agree. I think that the idea of medicinal marijuana could be legalised yesterday.
And it's a tax windfall. California, they made over $100 million in tax revenue last year from medical marijuana.
They've come out, Andrew Little's come out saying medicinal marijuana, it's a done deal, we'll do it, we'll make it really quick. He has talked a little bit about cannabis in general and legalising cannabis full stop. Here's a quote from him. He says, "The medical evidence came back to me overwhelmingly was that a lot of cannabis available in New Zealand had very high THC levels. For brains that are still developing in their late teens and early 20s, cannabis use, even to a modest degree, can still cause long-term brain damage." So I'd want to know, we are addressing the real risk to that issue.
I think that's a good point. I mean, but how hard is that to regulate? The Mugger Mob live down the road from me and sell quite a lot of tinnies. I'd like to put them out of business.
Right. So putting them out of business means making it legal everywhere, not just
It's naive of me, isn't it? Because it would cause other problems, I'm sure, down the line. But I just like to take it out of the gang's hands.
So what we're saying is, for the policy for Labor, medicinal marijuana tomorrow is a yay. Legalising cannabis carte blanche. It's a wait and see.
More information needed.